Hello everybody, it's your residential brickologist Lego Lee here with another throwback Lego Star Wars set review. Today we have set number 7105, the original Droid Escape from the year 2001. When this set was released in January of that year, it retailed for about $6 US. Adjusted for inflation, that's about $10.40 here in 2023. The set contains 44 pieces and I unfortunately no longer have the box. However, I do have the instructions that gives us a look at what that classic Lego Star Wars box art would look like, and despite this set actually coming in a box, these instructions are like the ones you get with modern day poly bags. It's literally just a pan flip that folds out. Very bizarre, but this set does only have 44 pieces. Small piece count aside, this set does have 2 minifigures and of course the escape pod. Let's look at those figs first. Our first minifigure in this set is the old original version of Lego R2-D2. His torso print looks fantastic. I think Lego has pretty much used something very similar for the rest of time. The head detail definitely has been improved in future Lego sets, but of course I had nostalgia for this original version of the character, and he has some nice detail from the back of the head as well. Of course, where R2-D2 goes, C-3PO usually goes as well, and this is the original Lego C-3PO figure, and it's hard to believe now because his character is so common across so many Lego Star Wars sets, but he was actually kind of hard to find back in the day. His first appearance was in the 2000 Millennium Falcon set, which retailed for $100, so getting him in a cheaper set like this in 2001 was a humongous asset for Lego Star Wars fans who were balling on a budget, and he looks very good. Now, the color Lego originally used for C-3PO is referred to as light pearl gold. They do not use that color anymore. It looks very unique. Definitely not as accurate as just the normal Lego gold, but I kind of like how it feels, and the torso print to me looks great, and that head mold is so good that they keep using it to this day. And he has back printing, which was not super common for figures back in the day. Definitely a really solid first interpretation of this character in Lego form. And here is the Droid Escape Pod itself. This is one of 3 versions of this vehicle in Lego form. Of course, this one is the original from 2001. It took them 11 years to remake it, but they finally did in 2012. And then there was a much shorter turnaround for the next version in 2016. I think Lego has kind of struggled to actually nail the shape of this escape pod in universe. It's kind of a weird slight cone shape. This one does not do really anything to approximate that, but the 2012 version overcompensated for that design, and then the 2016 version kind of goes back to this more cylinder shape. None of them really look all that accurate to me, but this one has some cool details. The main thing I want to focus on here is the big old print you get for the escape pod. You get this exact same piece in white twice, and it actually adds a lot of detail to this build. I think the colors might be a bit too bright. The blues and the yellows aren't entirely accurate, but that's kind of what Lego's vibe was in the early days of Lego Star Wars, so I can let that slide. The 2 other fourths of the cylinder here are in plain light gray. This is the more yellowish gray Lego used to use before they changed it to light bluish gray around 2004. The engine detail here looks pretty good, and these details on the top and bottom are something we've seen on all versions of the escape pods. This is the first version that kind of nailed that right out the gate. The rest of the top here just uses a big dish piece that looks pretty good, and you can remove this fairly easily to reveal the interior, which is pretty much just an empty hole with a 2x2 blue tile holding everything together down there. Yeah, that's not great. No controls, no seats, no windows, no nothing inside here. Definitely a crappy interior, but there is plenty of space. Now, you could definitely just drop your figures in there if you so choose, or if you have smaller hands, mine are rather large, you can put them down inside there to stand the figures up on the floor. But again, it's definitely just a huge L in my opinion that there is no controls or anything for the figs inside this escape pod. Alright everybody, final verdict here on the original Lego Droid Escape Pod set. I'm not going to sit here and pretend this is some revolutionary piece of Lego Star Wars history. It's not, and they definitely have improved on this build in the future. That being said, I think this set is one heck of a good value. $6, which is just barely over $10 adjusted for inflation, is absolutely fantastic for how big the pieces are here and two desirable characters that were harder to find back in the day. Additionally, I think the build holds up pretty well for how old it is. It's not perfect by any means, but the newer versions aren't perfect either, and I love the print. So all of that is really solid. And additionally, it makes me nostalgic for when LEGO actually used to make small Star Wars sets that were recreations of iconic scenes. Pretty much every LEGO Star Wars set these days that's under $20 is some sort of gimmick, like a microfighter. Now they're doing Star Wars mechs. They don't do this sort of thing anymore, so it's really cool to look at this slice of LEGO Star Wars history, even if it's not the greatest design ever made. Now begs the question of value. Should you get this set here in 2023? If you like what you see, you can actually get this used for about $20 to $25, which is not a whole lot of money, so I'd actually recommend it on that front. Now, if you want to get it new, sealed in box, you're probably going to pay like upwards of $80, so I probably wouldn't recommend getting it sealed, but used, it's not a bad value, so I'd recommend it there. Overall, it's a solid, fun, albeit flawed, little LEGO Star Wars set. I hope you enjoyed my review. I'm going to give this set here a 7 out of 10. Those are just my thoughts though. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, check the description to find me on all sorts of social media pages. Consider supporting me on Patreon. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out. God bless. Bye-bye.